right, guys. So we've spent quite a bit of time on Labalco Gate. I appreciate you guys listening. What we're going to do is we're going to jump to the next topic. And as you can see, Dennis versus Kevin Durant. Now, I didn't think that this was something that I was initially going to respond to, but the beef between Dennis Schroder and Kevin Durant, we all remember him from the Lakers when he famously, allegedly turned down an $80 million deal from them. Because he wanted a $100 million contract, supposedly. Now, this hasn't been confirmed. He says that was not true. He never had an offer from them. And so when he apparently rejected this $80 million deal, he wound up with a 1-year, $5 million deal with the Celtics. And, Stephen A. Smith, he reacts to basically what Dennis Schroder is saying about Kevin Durant, pretty much direct. I don't know if it was during the Olympics or if it was directly after, but Dennis Schroder had an interview and he was talking about FIBA being straight IQ and that the NBA is basically entertainment. And he backpedaled. He was like, I'm not trying to say that, there's no IQ in the NBA, but it's more focused on this. It's pretty much the gist of that. And Kevin Durant didn't appreciate it. Or, you know what? I'm not going to say Kevin Durant didn't appreciate it because that's not even what I think. But he replied to that. When they won the gold medal, he took a picture of themselves and he said entertainment and IQ. Just saying like, hey, we have it both. And I didn't think anything of this at all. I really didn't. But Stephen A. Smith reacts because this becomes a beef, essentially. So when Kevin Durant tweeted that, Dennis Schroder had like a whole, soliloquy about how he's a weak person, that, he didn't mean it that way. And he was just, sharing that from both sides. So I'm going to play for you what he said and Stephen A's reaction to it.
Kevin Durant posted this photo with the caption, entertainment and IQ, seemingly a direct reference to Schroeder's comments. This week, Schroeder responded back saying on his Twitch stream, they won, and Kevin Durant tweets, high IQ and entertainment. For me, that's just being weak. You're that type of star, and you have to say something to a person like me who didn't even mean it to be negative. It was just what I see from both sides. I didn't appreciate it. I don't care, but at the end of the day, that tweet or whatever he posted was because of me. For me, it was never no negative stuff. I respect all of those guys, all GOATs, but to say that tells me how weak he is as a person. It is what it is. Not everybody is strong. Not everybody is in a good place.
So that's what Dennis Schroder said. Here's what Stephen A said.
Ah, damn, Kevin Durant, you're getting in an argument with somebody else now, et cetera, et cetera. And then I saw this and I said about Dennis Schroder, what the hell is wrong with you? I mean, first of all, you got no business calling Kevin Durant weak. Let's call Kevin Durant what he is. He's one of the greatest players in NBA history. Okay. Yeah, he could be a bit petulant at times, a bit moody at times, or whatever. He's also one of the great people you'll ever meet. He's a good dude, man. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. He can be a little temperamental or whatever. So what? So what? He's a decent dude. Don't get no trouble. Don't bother anybody. Just goes out on the court and ball. He's a 2-time league MVP. He's a one-time league MVP. He's a 2-time champion, 2-time NBA Finals MVP. He's a 4-time gold medal winner for the United States Olympics. And he's the all-time leading scorer. I think, was it a record 518 career points in Olympic competition. Oh, by the way, even though he had 15 points in this gold medal game, the 3 previous gold medal games where he won a gold medal, Shannon, he had 30, 30, and 29. This brother is something special. And Dennis Schroder talking about him, you talking about him like he's just somebody. Or I know they're all GOATs. Well, you ain't talking about him like he's a GOAT. You attacked his manhood. You talking about he's weak. How dare you say something like that about Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant don't deserve that. The fact of the matter is, Schroeder said what he said, okay? He talked about, hey, what is it? straight IQ basketball, while the latter is emphasizes entertainment more.
Entertainment.
Yes, he did not say they were devoid of entertainment, but he said they focused more on entertainment as opposed to IQ. And Kevin Durant was simply making a point. We have both. And he's qualified to say that because he's the most celebrated Olympian in history in the sport of basketball, okay? More so than LeBron James, more so than Steph Curry, more so than even Carmelo Anthony, certainly more so than Dennis Schroder. And so I'm looking at this and
Okay. So to me, Dennis Schroeder's comments that FIBA is straight IQ, straight coaching, I had no problem with it when he said it because he wanted to be clear that it wasn't to insult the NBA. I mean, he's allowed to state that FIBA is, it's straight IQ. He's allowed to make these comments. He's a player. So I don't have any issue with what he said. And there should have been no bad feelings behind what he said. The NBA is entertainment. It is drama. It is storylines. It is politics and a variety of other things, right? And it's about a lot of things that have zero to do with playing basketball. Zero to do with winning and creating competition surrounding basketball. It's not just about hoops. And that's the truth. Schroeder didn't even dig deep into the politics or the way the NBA has been charged with being a league that entertains its fans, whether it's at the cost of abandoning the fundamental rules like traveling, carrying the ball, or lack of defense, which has led to a three-point contest and layup lines in the game. Stephen A. listed Kevin Durant's accolades of being an Olympian, an MVP, an NBA champion. And at first I thought it doesn't matter. But then again, I think it does, because when you are critiquing today's game and how it's played or making certain statements that are an indictment on the game that he plays in, I think that it does matter. So I think Kevin Durant's accomplishments in the sport give his comments more credibility, but I don't think it gives anyone more rights to give their opinion per se. So Gil's Arena also discusses this beef. Let's hear his reply.
I mean, he started off wrong. Then KD wrote entertainment, then IQ. Not IQ, then entertainment. We're just gonna correct that. It was entertainment. Get the quote first. Entertainment, IQ.
Entertainment and IQ. He said high IQ and entertainment. Not what KD said. He just said entertainment and IQ.
I mean, it's not. You put the statement out there for him to post. Like Dennis. If you watch what he said, he did slow it. Like, hold on, before this is taken out of control.
Exactly, he tried.
He tried to, right? There was no malicious behind it, right? And there was no malicious behind KD. KD was just basically saying, we got entertainment and we got IQ on how we won the game. So I don't see.
I think Gilbert Arena sees it similarly to the way that I do, but Rashad McCants, and I know I didn't play this part because it's a little long, but he expanded on Dennis Schroeder's side of it. He mentioned KD's burner account, which I think is hilarious because it reminds people that KD is going to reply, whether it's a clapback or just a reply, period. Kmart, to me, Kenyon Martin, he actually nailed it in my opinion because it's about absolutes. So he went on to share that, when you say something, you've got to kind of be ready. So when you say FIBA has, guys that have really great IQ who know how to play the game, I don't think he was trying to insult the NBA, but he should have expected someone to respond. It came off as Americans don't have the IQ. And that's not absolute. That doesn't apply to everyone. Kevin Durant is the kind of guy that will reply. IQ refers to intelligence. So to imply that Europeans are smarter, I guess to Americans, they're going to feel like you're taking a shot. And I don't even think that Kevin Durant took a shot at Schroeder when he said what he said back. That's what's disappointing about this beef, because I think that Schroeder could have let this go. It wasn't personal. When you say things publicly, you should be ready for a reply. KD gets low on people. Do we remember how he addressed Keyshawn Johnson? He torched him for damn near no reason. Keyshawn gave a take on Undisputed about how any decent player could have gone to the Warriors in 2017 and won. KD didn't like that. And he basically clapped back and said that anybody could have gone to the Jets and won instead of Keyshawn. Remember how he addressed Scottie Pippen, a legend in the NBA? He completely ethered Pippen. I want to take you guys back to 2021. This is a real throwback, but it's just to give a more clear picture of why people might be ready to jump on Durant or why they feel attacked if he references them in any way. So I don't know if you guys remember the Scottie Pippen statement. KD, as great as his offense was, it turned out to be his worst enemy because he didn't know how to play team basketball. He kept trying to go punch for punch. The Chicago Bulls legend went on to assert that James wouldn't have been in that position and would have found a way to win. Have you ever seen LeBron take a shot like that? He ain't going to take that shot. He's going to be smarter. LeBron would have figured out how to beat them, and it wouldn't have been he wouldn't have been exhausted, and he may not have taken the last shot. LeBron ain't KD. KD ain't LeBron. That was definitely, that was something. And I think that was totally unnecessary. And so did Kevin Durant. And he wound up saying, didn't the great Scottie Pippen refuse to go in the game for the last second shot because he was in his feelings? His coach drew up a play for a better shooter. Then he sent out another tweet. This guy, Scott, also wanted to enjoy his summer, so he chose to rehab during the season. LOL. Yo, at Scottie Pippen, they followed Phil, not you. 3 exclamations. Oof. That was definitely rough. I don't think that Scottie Pippen was expecting that kind of clapback. Not at all. So, sheesh. Watching Kevin Durant do things like that, you know that you could be next at any time for saying anything. Pippen completely disrespected KD for no reason. I understand giving your opinion, but saying anything, about LeBron in this moment when he won a title the year before and was a first-round knockout this same season that you're mentioning him was inappropriate and irrelevant to the playoff run that Kevin Durant was having. Yes, he was on the Nets team that was eliminated. It was very unfortunate how Giannis was able to undercut Kyrie in that series, which led to a major injury and setback for the Nets. Nonetheless, Scottie Pippen was chatting and gave his opinion. It was definitely a hot take. What bothered me the most about it, I would say, is that he said KD is no LeBron James. He's not LeBron James. He's just a better player. In fact, if LeBron took that shot, he would have LeBricked it. Let's be for real. We've seen that time and time again. KD responded with a nail in Scottie's coffin. So, to me, his point in that was, why are you even talking when you were never the guy? He's basically saying that Scottie Pippen wasn't even the number one option while MJ was temporarily retired. Kukoc was given that last shot. Pippen refused to even go back in the game. I remember that. The team never followed Scottie, as great as he was of a teammate. He supposedly was. They followed Phil. They followed Mike. Kevin Durant completely annihilated Scottie Pippen with the remember when tweet. Cut deep, for sure. I wouldn't have responded if I was KD personally, but this is the kind of person that we're dealing with. He's going to reply. He's not going to take the quote unquote classy professional way out. He doesn't have to. So, overall, I think that Dennis Schroder is not a superstar, a star, or an all-star in the league. His comments went viral because he defined what it is to play internationally, as well as what it is to be a player on American soil. So again, I didn't have a problem with his comments, and I don't think overall KD did either. If he saw Schroeder's comments as a shot or a personal attack, then we know how he would have responded. He would have torched him for being a journeyman in the NBA and not being able to entertain or win titles with all the IQ he supposedly has. To me, this is no big deal. Schroeder made it a big deal, I think, when he called KD weak as a person. The response was definitely out of turn and unnecessary. He randomly makes himself look bad in order to stay relevant in the sports world. And it makes me think that if foreign players are all about IQ, coaching, playing the game the right way, then why engage in drama? Why clap back at all? Seems like Schroeder wants to be down with the gang, but he wants to entertain stories and storylines and drama too, instead of letting his game do the talking and keeping it about hooping, right? FIBA is about straight hoops and IQ, then keep it that way. But what do you guys think about Dennis Schroeder's beef? I'm going to open up the phone lines. If anybody's even still awake. Feel free to call in and tell me what you think about Schroeder. My bad. But yeah, so these dudes always want someone to turn the other cheek when you come out of your face. Schroeder is a clown and couldn't keep it basketball. I agree. Like if FIBA is supposed to be all about, straight IQ and basketball, then why get into the why not expect NBA players who are great NBA players to defend the game that they're playing in? It's basically an indictment that, they're not smart, they're not playing a good brand of basketball, which, I agree with. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you need to be able to expect a reply. Expect that somebody is going to say something about you. What else do we have? I'll put the phone number back up if you guys want to call in. Keyshawn Johnson was right. Any All-Star could have won with Golden State Warriors with Steph. It's probably true. I mean, they were already a great team. They had already been to the finals. We knew that they were going to go back to the finals. So if they got another piece that could get them, over the LeBron hump, because they were about to lose 3 straight. LeBron was going to beat them 3 times in a row if Kevin Durant didn't get there. So I don't know that anybody could have gone. But Kevin Durant definitely fit into the system of moving the ball. So I don't think James Harden goes to the Warriors and helps them win a title. I don't think Russell Westbrook would have accomplished that either. So when we really think about, could any superstar have won? If we take all the guys that had no ring and drop them into that team, would they have still won? I don't know. If you put Chris Paul there instead of sending him to OKC or to the Rockets, does he win? He's ball dominant. He's a real floor general. I don't know that I think he plays a really great brand of basketball, but I don't know that he would have been the piece that they needed to get over the LeBron hump. And I get it. They beat him already in 2015, but LeBron beat them in 2016 and he knew how to beat them. And if you notice, even now that he's on the Lakers, he almost never loses a game to the Warriors. They're just too small for him. He's like, F this, I'm bum rushing the lane every time. And he does. And I think the last time that I can remember LeBron playing against the Warriors, he dropped 50 on them. And I think Anthony Davis wasn't even in the game. So I don't know that any star could have gone to the Warriors and won, but Kevin Durant definitely, he helped them win those 2 titles. And I think that trade is what helped create the dynasty that they are. Let's see. Ma'am. What? Because I had some user errors, okay? Schroeder's irrelevant, for sure. 1,000,000%. Definitely irrelevant. Kyrie and Ray Allen took the clutch shots for LeBron. Probably true. Probably true. Keyshawn was wrong. KD fits seamlessly. His shot making and underrated help defense was greatly needed. I agree. Kevin Durant is actually an extremely underrated defender, and he doesn't get that much credit for his defense. And what I saw is he was an excellent defender in the Olympics. He did everything on both sides, and it was really great to see. He looked so long out there on the floor. Like every time he just moved his arms out like this and, to play defense, he looked like he was just covering the entire half court. But yes, agreed. Definitely underrated as a help defender. KD has not won anything since he left Golden State Warriors. You're right. He hasn't. And that has begged the question, is it Steph that needed him or is it him that needed Steph? And I think that it was both. I think they needed each other. I think Kevin Durant needed to go to a team where they ran a real offense. I think he needed to play, in a system. I think that he needed to be on a team that moves the ball. So he definitely needed Golden State Warriors. And I think that Steph needed him because I don't know that they were ever going to win again. So, okay. Well, since no one's calling in, which I get it, it's totally late. We're going to go through these topics a little faster because we still have 2